Yeah. No, definitely. I just wanted to ask, like, what were those things that you felt were coming into your life when you like went to that side where you're like, okay, I'm dedicating myself to God in your perspective, in your view? What started coming to your life that wasn't coming before? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I could give you a ton. So just in this year, man, like my movie came out, and when I went for that movie, I went on a day that I was already fasting. So he times the. Okay, how do I put this? Because it is hard to express.
That in itself, the fact that you were in a movie is like.
Oh no! In 1 year that I gave it all to him. So 8 years of being here, 8 years of being here and working hard and putting myself first, putting him on the back burner. Like, yo, I'm gonna do my thing, and then when I have time, I'm gonna put you first, or bring you up. And then one day, it was like two and a half years ago. I had a lot of money and I have a lot of success but I was still finding depression. And I'm not a depressed person. So I was like, yo, that's weird. Because when I was flipping burgers at Five Guys in Arizona and I was broke as shit, I was abundantly happy. So I was like, all right, cool. And I like to self-reflect. So I always write what my feelings are and I reflect on them. And I was like, okay, cool. Maybe it's because my true happiness is with God and God alone. I could be happy flipping burgers with God on my side. And if I could be having all the supermodels or all the money, but with no God, it's like there's no purpose. Because I've literally been around billionaires that are lost. Absolutely. And you know more than anybody around these influencers that they go on the gram and they're like, yo, my life's great. They put that on and we all know.
What's really going on.
It's not.
Yeah.
So I took accountability. I was like, yo, no one's going to take care of me. So I like sat with like me and myself, and honesty is a very big thing. And I always bring my parents involved in everything I touch. So I brought it up to them and they were like, my mom was like, listen, I'll tell you this over and over again until you bang your head against the wall and you're going to open your eyes and see, like, the days that you're really happy is the day you wake up and you put God first. So I just finished shooting my movie around that time. And I was like, all right, I'm going to put him first seriously. Then
what does that look like, though?
Yeah.
So, okay, so like, the look like is like before I wake up and touch my phone and check how many people are in my DMs or how much likes I have. See, that is my idol became social media. So now I don't touch my phone.
Sounds like my life. I wake up, I'm like, fucking internet.
Immediately to that, right?
Yeah.
So sorry, my brain is all over because I want to make sure I say this properly. So I wake up before I do anything. I thank him for waking up. And then I ask him for the day's work. So I ask him to give me strength, wisdom, faith, and knowledge to take the days on for what it is. I don't want him to make my day easier. I want that shit to be hard. But I want the strength to carry on with that. And then with a year of doing that, my movie came out. It did so well that the writers and producers bought the movie that I wrote. From there, I went on to Impulsive. And before I went on Impulsive, I asked God to speak through me and make sure that I could speak with some type of knowledge. And then the audience loved me so much that I got welcomed on. And then that was right around the time my movie came out. So then I announced my movie. It crushed. And then they bought the movie that I wrote. Now we're going on to that. Yeah. Invited a guy that I looked up to. And I was like, yo, I want to be like that. And instead of me just wanting it, I prayed for it. He became a guest on Impulsive and then looked at me and then all of a sudden wanted to mentor me. And then from that opened up this door for stand-up. And then so now, and then it's so funny because I'm overthinking. I always think everybody. Yeah. And Logan, literally, we had an argument. We literally got an argument. He looked me in the eyes and he's like, yo, you're too grateful, bro. He's like, you thank me way too much. He's like, you're doing your own thing. And I told him, I go, see that right there, that's the disagreement that I'll have with everybody. Because even though it was him, right, that put me on, if it wasn't him, God would have put somebody else, like Joe Coy or Andrew Schultz, that welcomed me onto their stage. There's so many people that could have opened that door for me. But if I can't show God how grateful I am for what he's already done in my life, then as a father, if I had a son and I gave him a gift and he didn't appreciate it, why would I want to give him more?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I take that to consideration. So I thank him for everything. I actually, believe it or not, this is my most successful year I've ever had. In 1 year, in 12 months, I've made more money and more success than I've done in 8 years.
I love it.
You ready for this? I swear to you, this is not a lie, bro. For 1 year now, I've never asked God for a thing.
For 1 year since?
I've never asked God for a thing. I do not ask God for anything. I ask him to put what he thinks is good for me in front of me. That's it. And then I work hard as fuck.
So this is the thing I want to, this is the challenging part, right?
Yeah. It's a relationship.
Right. Do you think that you sitting in the morning and saying, God, what is there for me?
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Those
yeah.
moments. Do you think that's also a practice of intention and bringing things in your life? Because now you're putting that open, that willingness, that energy out there in yourself.
Like a process of like self-work.
Like calling it out
Like
into
an
existence.
affirmation, all these things
So
every morning, right?
I do Bible study, right?
Okay.
And when I do Bible study, I truly look at the Word of God and I break it down. I'll take a verse and I'll really sit there, and it's so deep, bro. There's so many things that we read that we just read. And I talk to Christians and they go, yeah, Philippians, I can do all things through God who strengthens me. And it's like, bro, you guys sound like parrots. You guys don't even know what the Word is. And I noticed I would call things into existence. I would literally, Logan even called this out. I will literally, and you could ask him, I say things and they will happen. And so I was like, yo, that's crazy. Because I literally been doing it like a lot. So I was like, where did this come from? And then everybody was like, oh, you call it into the universe. So I was like, all right, well, how do I bring this out in a biblical term? And then I read the Bible. I literally asked God, I was like, yo, if I'm on the right track, show me. And then randomly I opened up to the first page and it says, in the beginning was the Word and the Word was with God. And he said, let there be light. And he said that we're made in his image. And then I learned how your mouth could call into so many things. And then after I learned this, I started looking around the people that I was with. The person who's depressed always said he's depressed. The person who's successful was like, man, I'm going to kill it today. And I was like, whoa. So we're made in his image. And we literally were taught that anything you say, you will bring it upon yourself. And now people are saying it's like calling it to the universe.
This reminds me,
all,
that's what I'm saying, intention. This reminds me of a trippy mushroom trip that I had.
Oh, yeah.
My second mushroom trip.
I took a mushroom trip once and I was like, I literally started weeping because I put all my problems on a table and then I solved them out. But again, dude, I tell this to people all the time. Like, I could never sit in front of the camera and have somebody on the other screen believe in God as much as I can, because they're never going to have this relationship, right?
Right.
Because I put time into it. I'll text you and be like, yo, man, how's your day? Are you good? I'm putting time in this relationship. People can't even put time in their own relationships. So these people are greedy. They're selfish. All they want is them. So